The Jimmy Z Show.
So we go to Arizona. The U.S. Department of Education sent a letter to Reverend Jarrett Maupin informing him that the Office of Civil Rights plans to open an investigation into his complaint that the Queen Creek school system may have created a hostile environment when they allowed students to have a Redneck Day celebration. The Office of Civil Rights also advised Maupin, a former Phoenix mayoral candidate who was sentenced in 2009 to 5 years probation and 75 hours of community service for making a false report to the FBI, that they would investigate his claim of, quote, discrimination related to ethnic studies programs at other school districts in Arizona and the impact of Arizona revised statutes. Maupin declared the decision by the OCR a moral victory. This guy's a scumbag. But basically, the Queen Creek Unified School District allowed students to participate in a Redneck Day. Maupin alleges specifically that the district discriminated by creating a racially hostile environment at the Redneck Day event on May 1st, 2013 at Queen Creek High School, and by failing to take action to correct the racially hostile environment. Now, I'm looking all over the internet, and I cannot find any specific information about what happened that day, other than some kid brought in a Confederate flag. Now, obviously, the Confederate flag represents the losers in the Civil War. And I just don't understand why it has come to be in America that even seeing the Confederate flag for black Americans is like using the N-word. It's that bad. There's an article here at ArizonaFamily.com. In some parts of the country, the Confederate flag still flies, but when a student showed up to Queen Creek High School wearing the flag on his back, this is for Redneck Day, the look wasn't flying with some parents, including one father who asked not to be named, of course. He's big and bold and brave and courageous, and don't tell anybody my name. Let's see. He was afraid of backlash. What backlash? There's more backlash coming from the African American side than could ever come from any kid who brought a Confederate flag to Redneck Day at the high school. The concerned father said, "That is so last century. I guess I want to say we don't raise our kids to be rednecks." You know what? Here's my point here. I could read the rest of this article and get all bent out of shape over every stupid thing that stupid people say and how this stupid-ass administration has probably responded. But here's the point. If they had simply had Transvestite Day, there never would have been a problem. All the boys dress like girls, and all the girls dress like boys, and all the boys can go into the girls' bathroom, and all the girls can go into the boys' bathroom. That would have been fine. Holy crap. Nobody would have said anything. This father would have considered that to be inclusive. The student was participating in the school's Redneck Day event last May, where students were encouraged to dress up. The event was quickly criticized. This father, who wants to remain anonymous, and of course there would be a backlash if people knew who he was, because the other parents would say, "You stupid causing all this trouble over a stupid day at a stupid high school where kids dress up like rednecks. And you get bent out of shape over that. How utterly ridiculous." It's always one parent. If you had Transvestite Day, or whatever they want to call it, and you had 100 parents get upset, the school administrators would put their hands on their hips and tell the parents, go f*** yourselves. We are open to people identifying as any gender they wish, and you can't tell kids what gender they are. But you see, this is what I'm talking about. I can't take this stuff. So here's the father who wants to remain anonymous, so the other parents don't call him on the phone and go, what is your problem? Well, if it was going to be Cowboy Day or something, if the term had been a little different, the outcome would have been a little different. He's all bent out of shape because they called it Redneck Day, as if rednecks are all evil and racist and believe that America should still have slavery. Civil rights activist, the Reverend Jared, they're always a reverend. I'm so tired of that, too. There's nothing reverent about any of these guys who call themselves Reverend. The Reverend Jared Maupin, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the Reverend Al Sharpton. They're not reverent at all. They're race baiters. Jared Maupin, who's been found guilty of filing a false report with the FBI, called on officials with the United States Department of Education to investigate racial discrimination within the school. And you know, I just realized I can read this whole thing, but there's audio here as well. So let's hear from, what station is this? Channel 3 in Phoenix.
Tonight, a Valley school is under investigation by the feds, and it all has to do with the story behind this picture. In May, students at Queen Creek High were asked to participate in Redneck Day and dress up accordingly. But now that day is under investigation by the U.S. Department of Education. Crystal Cruz live now to explain why the school is on the feds' radar. Carrie, some parents and students and civil activists said this event showed poor taste and was offensive. And this letter confirms the feds are taking their investigation very seriously. In some parts of the country, the Confederate flag still flies. But when this student showed up to Queen Creek High School wearing the flag on his back, the look wasn't flying with some parents, including this father, who isn't showing his face, afraid of backlash.
That is just so, it's just so last century, I guess I want to say. We don't raise our kids to be rednecks.
This student was participating in the school's Redneck Day event last May, where students were encouraged to dress up. The event was quickly criticized.
If it was going to be Cowboy Day or something, you know, if the term had been a little bit different than Redneck Day, I think the outcome would be different.
Civil rights activist Reverend Jared Maupin called on officials with the Department of Education to investigate racial discrimination within the school.
And I found it to be offensive. I think many in the community did, and the department responded aggressively, quickly, to look into whether or not people's civil rights were violated.
The DOE is now investigating if the school created a racially hostile environment.
Redneck Day is a slang word, and some people take offense to redneck.
Even though wearing a Confederate flag is protected under the First Amendment, this dad blames Redneck Day for ruining the school's reputation. You might remember almost a year ago, Queen Creek High School was recognized nationally when the football team took a bullied special needs student under its wing.
It puts, you know, a spotlight on us that is not wanted.
Now, in this letter, the feds did promise a prompt investigation. However, they did not outline a specific date for when they would let their findings go public. We did reach out to district officials. However, as a broadcast, no comment.
What the hell is wrong with this guy? And you know, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I'm sorry, the guy sounds like a homosexual. But whether or not he's homosexual, this statement is the most infuriating to me.
Some people take offense to redneck.
So what? So what if you're offended? How many parents are offended every time the public school has some kind of pro-homosexual or pro-transvestite or pro-LGBT or whatever the hell else you want to call it? And the school says, well, you can be offended, but we're still having Homosexual Ally Day or Gay Boys and Lesbo Girls Day or the Transgender Day where boys dress as girls and girls as boys. And we talk about how anybody can be any gender they identify as. All that's fine.
Some people take offense to redneck.
You know, it's unbelievable. They're acting as if, this guy is acting as if, and the civil rights activist Reverend and the Department of Education, the federal government getting involved because one kid showed up at school on Redneck Day with a Confederate flag. And now all hell breaks loose. It literally becomes a federal case. One kid with the Confederate flag across his back turns this into a campus where we have to investigate whether or not the Queen Creek Unified School District discriminated on the basis of race and created a racially hostile environment at the school because of this one parent.
Some people take offense to redneck.
Like I said, if they would have had Transgender Day or Gay Boy and Lesbo Girl Day, everything would have been fine. And it wouldn't matter how many parents complained about that. It wouldn't matter. There would be no big deal. There would not be, can you imagine? There wouldn't be any kind of federal case. You wouldn't have any kind of federal investigation because the feds endorse it. Wow. How stupid. I have a friend of mine who made a great point. He said, this is why racism is kept alive in this country. This is how you keep racism going. By making a big deal out of something like the Confederate flag. Oh, I don't want to see that. It offends me. Some people find rednecks offensive. What a screwball.
Some people take offense to redneck.
And then my friend said, next thing you know, the activists are going to demand that grocery stores stop carrying fried chicken and stop carrying watermelon because it's racist. That's a very good point. How is it not racist for a black man to go into a grocery store produce department and see watermelon? I'm not trying to be funny. That's how stupid these people have become.
Some people take offense to redneck.
Boy, I can't take it. This is what I'm talking about. I can't take it. It's so damn stupid, I can't take it. What a stupid parent. What a stupid adult. Has his panties in a bunch, all tied up in a knot, over one flag, one kid with one flag. I can't stand rednecks. Good grief. I'm Jimmy Z. It's the Jimmy Z Show.
Wait, this is the Jimmy Z Show.